Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Maverick Baking and welcome back to another kind of loved up, sensual Valentine's Day food review. It's me eating donuts on camera again. But thank you for being here. Yes, today we are reviewing Krispy Kreme's 4 limited edition Valentine's Day donuts. So a couple of them are new flavors, a couple of them are just classics in different shapes, which always works for stupid consumers like me. So just what are the 4 donuts we are talking about today? Let me tell you. We are talking about this strawberry donut, mildly disturbing, it must be said, but moving on. We also have the Nutty Chocolata Valentine's Day edition. We have a berry, raspberry ripple type vibe with this one that looks kind of festive. And we have a mint chocolate donut heart as well. So these are 4 filled donut varieties. There were no kind of limited edition ring donut varieties that I could see, but I think Krispy Kreme are most known and probably most loved for their big variety of filled donuts, at least in the UK anyway. So with the season of love upon us, let's take a little review of these Krispy Kreme donuts and see if they are worth spending your money on for your loved one, for your crush, for your wife, for yourself, whoever. Let's get into it. So I think I'm going to start with this kind of pretty white berry looking thing. Decent on decoration. I'll give you a bit of a close-up. It has this kind of white candy looking icing. We have some red stripes. We have some red bits. I believe this is raspberry, but honestly looking at it, that looks like freeze-dried strawberry and not raspberry, but you know what? Details. So let's just cut into this and see what we have inside. Okay, so we have cut into this donut and you can see on the inside, just under that sort of white candy, white chocolate topping it has, that it has this gooey kind of equal mix between what looks like a berry jam and a kind of classic cream filling. It just kind of smells of sugar, as most Krispy Kreme donuts tend to do, but there is a bit of a fruity kind of smell in there. Let's bite in and see just what's going on. Okay, disappointingly, it tastes, just as it smells, of nothing but sugar. The kind of white chocolate topping on the outside of the donut doesn't taste like white chocolate. It just tastes like a kind of set, almost like those candy melts things. If you're a baker or you know someone who's a baker, or if you've ever had kind of cake pops, you get this kind of chocolate-like stuff that has all the texture of melted and reformed chocolate, but none of the flavor. That's kind of what this white stuff is like. I can't really taste any of those freeze-dried berry bits. The jam in the middle has absolutely no texture. It's like fruit and this filling have never met. They don't know each other. It doesn't taste of jam. It doesn't even taste of a kind of coulis. It literally just tastes like a hyper sweet goo. And the white cream stuff underneath it, completely redundant. Even if it did have any flavor, it would be dead under this ridiculously hyper sweet filling. I'm not even gonna waste your time by going any further. This one is just pure sugary trash. If you like sugary trash, it may be for you. It's not for me, it's a 1 out of 5. Let's move on to the other kind of berry flavor while we're here. So this is a very heavy donut, I must say. And yes, its haunting gaze has been kind of piercing my eyeballs the entire walk home. Let me give you a little close-up of this guy. So it looks like he has a kind of thicker coating on top. Again, it seems to be more of a set kind of candy topping. I don't know if you can hear that. It seems to be more of a kind of set topping than anything gooey or icing-like. It's definitely set pretty firm. Again, just smells mostly of sweetness, but there's definitely a fruitiness going on in there somewhere. Let's cut inside, split this terrifying face in half and see what's going on. Okay, so even more disturbingly, I managed to get both of his eyes on one side. So please enjoy this kind of jam and cream spewing donut monster that's about to be given to you close up. Oh, God. Who called this food? The filling looks to be exactly the same as the other one, except in greater quantity. Maybe it's strawberry instead of raspberry. Maybe that super thick icing on top will give it more of a berry flavor. Either way, I have a feeling I'm gonna have sore teeth after this one, so let's just get into it. Whoa. No. No, no. Even as someone who does enjoy the ludicrously sugary sometimes, Krispy Kreme need to behave. Like a lot. This filling tastes like someone dropped a barrel of artificial berry flavour in there. It tastes like cough sweets. It tastes like something that's had to be flavoured so much because the actual natural ingredients in it are so disgusting that they need to kind of disguise it to make it even mildly palatable. I'll give it to them. It's a generous layer of icing on top, but the generous layer of icing on top is enough to rot every tooth in your mouth just with its flavour, not even with the actual amount of sugar that's in it. That's one bite. That is one bite. I don't know how anyone could cope with a whole donut full of that. It's intense. You can't taste the actual dough of the donut, which is half of the appeal of these things. The topping and the filling kind of blend into one. It's just wildly sweet, wildly over-flavoured with an artificial flavouring, which just makes you want to not eat it. To be honest, I'm not super against artificial berry flavours and everything. I enjoy, you know, a bit of strawberry Nesquik, like everyone does, or, you know, some kind of strawberry flavoured cake, but holy mother of God, this needs to be stopped. This is a 1 out of 5. Do not buy it for yourself. Do not buy it for others unless you enjoy nothing but the taste of sweet sugary pain. Okay, so now that my fingers are sufficiently sticky and my mood is decreasing rapidly, let's move on to our third donut. So I think I'm going to move on to the Nutty Chocolata donut. So this is, I think, just the classic Krispy Kreme Nutella filled donut in a heart shape instead of just a kind of fat ball shape. Oh, see, this is much, much more like it. So we cut into it right into the center of that heart, and that's a very familiar and welcome smell coming from there. I must say, cutting into these, most of them have had some seriously uneven filling distribution, so let me just kind of show you that. The bottom half is exactly the same size and was cut right through the middle like the top half was, but the top half is the only one that has any filling. This one is basically just a dry ass donut, which you might be into. If so, you're welcome to it. Enjoy. Okay, let's bite into the Nutty Chocolata. Let's see if these toasted hazelnuts, that kind of Nutella looking filling in the middle, and that chocolate can be a redeeming star in this shit show of a Valentine's donut lineup. Much, much better. That gooey Nutella filling. Now I must say, personally, I would like a few more kind of hazelnuts on top, but this one has the best combination of taste and texture so far. You have those crunchy hazelnuts, which give you a little bit of flavour as well as that lovely kind of crisp texture. You have the softness of the donut, you have the gooiness of that Nutella without it pouring out. The Nutella, which we all know and love, is obviously, again, a very sweet product, but it has that balance of the kind of richness with the chocolate flavour in there. It's got that natural tasting hazelnut in there. It's the perfect texture for the donut because it doesn't kind of drip and squidge all over your face. It's just a nice kind of mellow, melting texture in amongst it all. Obviously, this isn't perfect. Personally, I would like either a bit more kind of chocolate on the top or at least a stronger tasting chocolate so that it could hold up to the Nutella itself. And as with some of Krispy Kreme's filled donuts, because they do tend to sit around for a bit, the dough does kind of get a little bit dense and heavy because the filling is kind of squishing up that nice fluffy softness that it should have. Not perfect, but certainly miles better than what we've had. I'd be happy to receive this. I'd be very happy to eat it. I'm gonna give the Nutella Krispy Kreme donut a 4 out of 5. Let's move on to our final donut, which is going to be the mint chocolate heart. Now, I can't remember if we've ever had a mint chocolate before. I have done plenty of Krispy Kreme reviews on this channel. I feel like we may have had it for Halloween or we may have had it for Christmas at some point. It's certainly got some kind of Halloween-y vibes in its appearance. Let me give you a close-up. You can see that it's got that kind of dark chocolate, those little crispy bits on one side and those little kind of green strips of icing on the other. Let's get it cut open and see what's going on inside. I'm really hoping it's a kind of chocolate mint filling rather than a mint cream filling. Thank you, Krispy Kreme. You don't disappoint me every time. Because I think we have had a mint cream Krispy Kreme donut before and the cream inside was basically just toothpaste. I ain't about that. Okay, so this one seems to have a fairly even distribution of the chocolate filling, which we like to see. I think I'm going to take this half just because it's nice and nice and easy to bite into to get maximum filling, you know? We're all about minimal effort on this channel. So there is a kind of soft mint smell from there. It looks like that filling is going to be nice and thick. It looks like it's going to be thicker than the Nutella filling. This is the fluffiest looking donut so far. It's got a half decent coating of chocolate. I'm excited. Let's bite into this one. The chocolate on top is just as kind of mint flavored as the filling is. Again, very sweet, but I like the texture of it. It's got a kind of velvety chocolate brownie texture to it. You know, again, like the berry ones, it doesn't just kind of ooze out. It's got a nice kind of thick viscosity to it, which we like to see with anything chocolatey. The mint flavor isn't too overpowering. It's definitely not one for people who don't like chocolate and mint together, because it is definitely detectable, but detectable in the same way that mint chocolate chip ice cream is, or After Eight chocolates, or any kind of mint chocolate candy bar, anything like that. It isn't kind of too toothpastey. It isn't too fresh and mouthwash in flavor, you know? It's got a semi-decent balance. The chocolate has been made very, very sweet, so you don't get any of the kind of bitterness that goes well with the mint flavor. And I would say, a bit unlike the kind of Nutella donut, this one could do with a bit more texture. Obviously, the other side does have those kind of crispy bits, but, you know, you're talking like a tiny mouthful, and they melt in your mouth rather than crunching. While it's good, the flavor's decent, and it's a damn sight better than the fruity flavors, this one's just kind of, This one's a 3 out of 5. Honestly, this isn't the most impressed I've ever been with Krispy Kreme's Valentine's offerings. The chocolate ones are definitely your safest bet if you're going to be buying some donuts for your loved one. Or just avoid the hype and the novelty, buy the ones they love, and they will appreciate you for it much more endlessly than you would if you bought them these kind of awful pink novelty things, because trust me, just don't waste your money or your time or the calories. Just don't do it. If you guys have tried any of the Krispy Kreme Valentine's Day editions, let me know what you think. Did you enjoy them? Do you think that they're just another kind of cash grab from Krispy Kreme and that we really need to see better quality if the British market wants to continue buying this stuff? Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you are new, because we are doing food reviews, vlogs and all sorts all the time, and it would be lovely to have you here. In the meantime, that's all I have time for today, so I will see you for the next one.